Okay, so picture this. The economy is, a little shaky right now. People are definitely watching their wallets, but,
Yeah.
it's still growing.
Let me guess.
The snack aisle.
Of course.
Yeah. Apparently, our love for like a good crunch or something sweet,
Yeah.
it can actually tell us a lot about what's going on in the world,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So today on our deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
we're using PepsiCo's latest earnings call
I love those.
as like our treasure map
Oh, fun.
to kind of uncover what's really happening
Okay.
in, snacks and what it means for all of us, what we're buying.
Yeah, what we're buying. It's fascinating.
Right. Okay, so we're going beyond just the numbers. Like we're going to talk consumer psychology,
Ooh.
sneaky strategies,
Oh,
and maybe even like get a little glimpse into the future of snacking.
okay.
So get ready, everybody, to deep dive into PepsiCo's Q3 2024 earnings call. And trust me, there's a lot more to unpack here than like a bag of Doritos Locos Tacos.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so what I found really interesting about this one, right, is like how this call really shows this kind of like tug of war, I guess you could call it,
Yeah.
between how much we all love to snack and
Yeah.
like, this whole tighter economy thing that's going on.
Right.
So remember Frito-Lay, the heart and soul of PepsiCo.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Their sales growth slowed down a bit this quarter.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And that's a big deal because Frito-Lay's huge.
Huge. Yeah.
Like they're like the Beyonce of the
Yeah.
snack world. So like when they slow down,
Everyone notices.
yeah, everybody notices.
Everyone pays attention. That's a really good point.
So what's the deal? What's the reason?
Well, I think if you look at what PepsiCo's executives keep saying, they keep mentioning this challenging consumer backdrop, which basically means people
Right.
are being really, really careful about how much they're spending on snacks these days.
So it's like, okay, well, I need my chips,
Yeah,
but maybe not like the biggest bag of chips.
exactly. And PepsiCo's already on top of that. They're totally aware.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing those smaller multi-packs and those bonus packs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So instead of trying to tempt you with that gigantic bag of Lay's that you're going to eat in one sitting, they'll give you the 10-count pack at a price that just feels a little bit better,
Yeah. Okay.
They just want you to feel like you're getting a deal, even if you're still, buying less.
That's really interesting. I never really thought about how much like thought goes into all of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about like making the chips. It's about understanding our moods,
Yeah.
our wallets,
It's psychology.
all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Well,
make us feel good about it, right?
absolutely.
That impulse buy.
Yes. And speaking of impulse buys, we got to talk about Gen Z. They're snacking differently, man.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. This call even mentioned this mini meal, which was hummus, Tostitos, and a banana.
Hummus and Tostitos I get, but like a banana, that's a curveball.
Right. But I think it shows this bigger shift that's happening toward, smaller, more frequent meals all throughout the day.
Oh, okay.
Gen Z is all about snacking as a lifestyle, not just a between meals kind of thing.
Interesting.
And that means PepsiCo has to change what they offer,
Yeah.
include more options that fit into this new mini meal trend.
So that's where the hummus and the banana come in.
Exactly. They're covering all their
A
bases.
whole new world.
Okay.
But then there's this other trend I noticed they kept mentioning, permissible snacks. What is that?
Okay. So,
Is it just like a fancy way of saying healthy snacks?
Mhm.
Is permissible snacks just like a fancy way of saying healthy snacks?
well, it's kind of more than that, right? I mean, it's definitely partly about, health and wellness. It's everywhere these days.
Sure.
But get this, better for you options, they usually have higher profit margins. So,
Okay, so it's strategic and they're probably making more money.
exactly.
It's like they're playing 4D chess with our snack cravings.
I mean, why not? Right. It makes sense. Appeal to both sides.
Totally, yeah. You've got like your classic, comfort snacks,
Yeah.
and then you've got your healthier options for when you're, I don't know, feeling more virtuous or something.
Exactly. It's all about options.
Yeah.
And speaking of options, the call mentioned these global capability centers. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I was a little confused about that, honestly. It seems kind of vague, like what even are those?
So basically, think of them like efficiency hubs. They're placed all over the globe, and what they do is they help PepsiCo, streamline everything
Okay.
so they can keep prices competitive, which these days is really important.
Right, that makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yeah, they're a big deal.
Wow. So it's not just about making the snacks, it's about making them efficiently.
And affordably.
Yeah, affordably, especially now, right?
It all comes back to
With everything costing more. Okay, so we've got shoppers being more careful about what they spend.
Mhm.
We've got Gen Z redefining, what snacking even means.
Totally.
And then you've got PepsiCo behind the scenes, pulling all these strings, trying to keep the shelves stocked and the profits coming. It's wild.
It is wild, but it makes you realize how much goes into, like, what ends up in your pantry.
Right. It's a whole thing.
What we see in the stores, it's not by accident,
Right, exactly.
They're thinking about everything.
Okay. But speaking of thinking about everything, they also kind of gave a little peek into, like, the global snack scene, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like things are a little mixed out there.
It's definitely a mixed bag, yeah. Some places are booming, like Southeast Asia, India. Those are really hot markets for them right now.
Which makes sense, right?
That's it.
Those populations are huge. And maybe they're not being hit as hard with all the, economic stuff
Yeah.
as other places.
You're right on the money. PepsiCo, they even talked about how crucial it is for them to understand those local tastes,
Yeah.
to really make it in those markets.
Right.
But then you've got places like China, parts of Western Europe where things are slowing down a bit.
And didn't they say something about geopolitical stuff too? That's got to be a factor.
Absolutely. Geopolitics, it always plays a role in global business. It's definitely no different for a company like PepsiCo.
Right.
Like, think about the Middle East, right? All that tension there, it has a real impact on how they do business in that region.
Yeah.
It's just a good reminder that the snack aisle, it's like a window into so many complex things going on in the world,
It really is. It's like there's that saying, all politics is local, but maybe it's more like all snacking is global.
Haha, I like that.
So given everything, like the economy, these different ways people snack, the global picture, I mean, how optimistic should we be about PepsiCo going forward? And what does it mean for us, the snackers of the world?
That is the question, isn't it? Well, here's the thing. This earnings call, it actually ended on a pretty optimistic note.
Oh,
Yeah. They seem confident, like they can adapt and stay ahead of the curve. And I got to say, their track record kind of backs that up, Think about it. They've been through recessions, changing tastes, trends, all of it. They always seem to figure it out.
so they're like the snack food version of a chameleon or something.
Exactly. They blend in, they thrive, no matter what.
That's impressive. But should we just, take their optimism at face value? I mean, they've been around for a while, right?
Exactly. They know how to play the game. But you bring up a good point. Should we just take their word for it? Probably not entirely right.
Right.
I mean, look, they're facing challenges just like any other company right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're investing in things,
Yeah.
innovation, efficiency, and they're definitely going global, pushing hard in that direction.
Yeah, that seems to be the theme for sure.
It is. And this earnings call, it wasn't just about the numbers. It was like a sneak peek into how they're trying to shape, like, literally what we snack on.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Not just here, but everywhere.
So we're not just along for the ride, really, right?
No way. We, as snackers, I mean, we have a say.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It's our choices, our cravings. It all sends a message,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It all gets back to them. It's a feedback loop. And that actually brings me to my final point from this whole earnings call, something to think about. Remember how PepsiCo kept talking about those trends? Smaller meals, snacking more often, and that whole permissible thing?
Yeah, like they're really betting on that being the future.
Exactly. So here's the question. Do you see those trends in your own life? Are you swapping meals for snacks more often? Are you, actually going for the healthier options sometimes?
It's funny you should ask because, yeah, I actually have been trying to make slightly better snack choices.
See? There you go.
But I got to be honest, those spicy chips, they get me every time.
Uh-huh. Hey, we all have our weaknesses. Mine's probably those caramel-filled chocolate things.
Oh, yeah, those are dangerous.
The best, but the worst. Anyway, but seriously, it makes you think, are these trends they're talking about just fads? Or are they really a sign of something bigger? The way we think about food now is totally different.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with everyone being so busy all the time.
Exactly. Our lives are just different now. And it makes you wonder, is it okay that these big companies are the ones kind of shaping that future, even if it's coming from what we're all doing anyway?
It's a good point. Definitely something to think about.
Right.
It's a lot to digest.
Literally. Maybe with a side of hummus and, dare I say it again, some Tostitos.
Oh, man, you're really stuck on the Tostitos, huh?
What can I say? A good crunch is a powerful thing.
That's true. That's true. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We've gone from the snack aisle to, global domination. It's amazing how much there is to uncover when you really start looking at the trends.
It's true. You just need to know where to look, right? Or in this case, what
Yeah.
to listen to.
Exactly. So tell us what you think. What trends are you seeing? What do you think the future holds for snacking? Hit us up on social media. We want to hear from you. Until next time, happy snacking.